Philippe.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
So thanks for coming down to speak to our next producer stars.
Yeah.
I wanted to speak to you today about original production, about getting your own ideas and being able to flesh those out and be able to give them a reality.
Yeah.
And the first thing is always the hardest question I find, which is where is the starting point for somebody like yourself or for Cassius, for example?
Because there's two production sides in my job now, that's not my job in my life, because I do the production when I produce beats and stuff like this, for example for Cassius, doing music more, which I would call production music. And another part where I do lots of production now, where a band called me to help them to produce. It's two different steps to start with, but for starting a song, it's out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. It starts from when I have time to do it, because I have a life crazy now, kids. That's why I sometimes miss the time when I was younger, and that I have my Atari was 365 days plugged it on, and I go in the night and I went. Now I'm like, okay, when am I gonna be able to do a song, for Cassius, for example. So, but when it's happening, it's always start for anything, from a feeling, from a song I heard the day before, from a girlfriend who leave you, from you are sad or you are happy, whatever, and then suddenly you make the effort to. Now it's an effort to open your computer to prepare your programs and to start a song. I miss the time when it was always on and in a right corner in my room. Now it's everything inside the computer and I don't have knobs to touch. So,
do you have any specific musical influences that you look to in times when you're maybe not so inspired?
Inspiration of sometimes it's musical, but more of the time it's people. I love integrity. So, for example, I will always refer to a John Coltrane, who was a saxophone player, was the best, and that's the last day of his life, and all his day's life he played 6 hours every day, and nobody could touch him. They are training and they are honest. So this is my inspiration comes more from people and the way, of course, from their music, but more from the way they've been handled in front of the music, not selling out. It's so easy to be when it's successful. When everybody's like, wow man, you're king, whatever, but after 3 years later you walk into the street and everybody's like, it can happen. It's all this travel is a long travel, and to have an ethic is very important.
Yeah, so to be
not selling out.
Yeah.
Because one day you wake up and you're like, I did this horrible song for this amount of money, it's gonna stay all your life. If you can turn around yourself and look at your music and whatever and being proud or whatever.
You are obviously, as you've said, also helping other bands and artists
more and more now.
Produce their sort of musical ideas. Does that mean you are sort of a creative director, or are you much more hands-on on the technical side in the studio?
No, more creative, even philosophic. Even a philosopher. I'd love to not go, just come and say 1 or 2 sentences and leave. I think it's great to do this way too. I'm very lucky because, for example, if I did lately I did a Phoenix and then a Rapture, and now I did a few other bands. It's never the same. It's always different. For the Phoenix, I just come and I say, oh, yeah, and I live for 3 weeks in Ibiza, and they were like, oh, what did he say? What? For the Rapture, I arrived in the studio and they were reading a newspaper, and I said, why don't you start? He said, we don't do anything if you're not here. So I'm like, okay, so from day 1 to the last day, I did everything, but with a sound engineer with me so that I can take the pressure down.
Yeah.
It's very important to be able to find teams. For example, now it's lost, but there's the recording studio world, which is not lost. It has been lost for the last 3 or 4 years, but now it's coming back. Lots of people want to have recording studio again, because you can do lots of stuff in a home studio, but not everything. And for example, for me, what has always been as important as the machines, as the electricity, were the assistants. Yeah. The young kid, which is 20, which is emptying the ashtray, serving you the coffee, and what I was doing. Those people are so important. They are the soul of the studio. So to find a good team, is very important. So that if you are a producer and you're producing a band calls you to produce them. For me, it's important to find a good sound engineer. Even if I know everything and I know how to record 17 violon, but I can at one moment go inside the studio and go near the drummer and concentrate on what he's playing, on if he's phasing the tempo, whatever, instead of thinking about the sound of the kick or the sound of the snare. For example, if we were doing a song right now, I would probably ask all of you what you think about it. It's very important. And in the studio, sometimes some people are very, they say, no, it's only him which is important. And I think it's ridiculous. And somebody told me this one day, and I really got angry, and I told him, man, you know what? If I go in the street and I get an old lady or a young kid, his mouth, what he's going to think about this music is as important as yours. And the guy goes crazy, and he go, but it's not true, but at the same time, it's a bit true.
The funny thing is, with my sort of experience teaching people, the idea of being an assistant is almost being devalued these days.
It's ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah, and what they don't realise is that these people who, you know, go and make you coffee or empty the ashtrays.
They are going to be the next producer.
Exactly.
Of course, every biggest producer in the world was an assistant.
Yeah.
And I think what is good about the big studio is that it brings people like an assistant becoming a sound engineer. And you know, it's good.
Would you say you're from an engineering background?
From the start, yeah, but more like mixer, and then I discovered techno in a rave, and then I wanted to be a producer. But before that, I didn't want to. All my friends, they were doing hip hop, but me, I thought hip hop was great, but doing the songs, I didn't care. The MPC, I didn't care. And then I went to a rave, and I went back home at 9 in the morning, and the day after, I said to my friend, give me a sampler, explain me. And then bought some records, and one of the 10 first records was a +8. It was a Speedy J.
Yeah.
Changed my life. I said, I want to do this. It's very important to have a lot of different parts in your thing because it's strength.
Yeah.
I know lots of good producers, even of techno, they played a little bit like 5 years of piano when they were kids. They don't know really how to play, but they have this.
They have an ear for it.
Everything which is around music is so great. For me, I used to love when friends came. I love to do a song, and then I'm a bit, and I know you're going to come to have a coffee, for example. I'm a bit like, oh, I hope he's going to like it, you know. It's very important. Because me, it's like even 1 week that I do this song, but you get used to your song, you think it's incredible, it's going to change the world. If you have friends, it's good barometers. You're like, for example, with me, I have some friends. I start play. After 5 seconds, I stop. So no, in fact, I will play you another time.
Yeah.
The fact that they are here, they made me understand that it was a bad track.
I mean, how much original production are you doing these days?
What's original production?
Music? Original music of yours?
Not too much. We did one EP last year, one EP
Is that the I Love You So thing?
Yeah, but Jay-Z took it.
Really?
Yeah, Jay-Z rapped on it. I couldn't say this for months and months to my friends. I was like, I want to say it to you, but I can't. But yesterday they called me and said it's on iTunes.
Wow.
That's for real now, so it's official. So yeah, they called us and they said, we love this song, can I rap on it? And they said, Jay-Z, you know, I said, of course, go. Rap 3 verses if you want. And he did 3 verses, and it's really cool. Yeah. But yeah, so this is the EP, which was more, there was only this, I Love You So was a bit special.
Do you have a preferred piece of software that you use for production? Or?
For production, helping people is Pro Tools. It's so easy in a big studio to record lots of people at the same time or whatever. I'm doing music on Pro Tools too. I bought Live 1 month ago. And I was working with a guy and I told him, please, can you teach me? But I'm not as young and whatever I was when I asked my friends, teach me the S. I didn't come back from a rave. I know. I mean, now it's more. It takes more time.
Yeah.
Logic, I think it's fantastic, too. Pro Tools is fantastic. I use it every day. It's getting more and more now, even for MIDI. It's getting more and more like for us.
Yeah.
When I was with MPC, sometimes, honestly, I was super short in time. I said, okay, I have 20 minutes. That was great. Now, if I have 20 minutes, I won't even put on the computer because it's going to take like 5 minutes to put on and then do. It was so great. You're like, you have to take the plane. You go to take the plane, and then you have done something.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for now.
Yeah. And in terms of where you've started with the production, has it always been beats first, or is it then you go to the musical elements first, or is it kind of
to start a song? No, always the beat and bass first. Lots of the times. No, you're right. Sometimes the sample, it's good to start with the sample. Chop it, find, and then do the beat. I don't think there's a rule.
Is that what happened with the IMS anthem thing last year? Was it a start with a sample first, or?
Yeah, we started with not even the girl, but the tan 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 tan. We wanted to do like some old school trance horrible song, but with a good feeling.
Yeah.
And then we found the girl's voice, and then it's great. And then
when you're producing, do you actually mix stuff as you go roughly, or do you wait for a separate session to do the mix down, or?
No, I do always a rough. Recording is first rough, because the first rough is the most. It's the moment when you are very genuine to the song. When you are, so you find the good balance is always the first balance for me.
Do you master yourself, or do you
No. I go to exchange. Yeah, the exchange in London.
Okay. Do you feel it's always better to give a fresh pair of ears on that in terms of mastering, or is it just because they have great gear? Or?
They have great gear, and they can't. I did the Beastie Boys lately. I'm super happy, but I didn't do it at the exchange. And I did it in America, and they do it in America. There's the loudness war. Everybody's fighting to have the loudest record possible, and in the end, it's. For example, Metallica, Def Magnetic. The last Metallica album was a nightmare to listen to. It's like oof.
It's like no dynamic range.
No dynamics. Even the people were buying it in Guitar Hero. So you get it. It's a better sound in Guitar Hero. No, that's true. No, but that's true. Because they couldn't do the loudness one. I like what is good in each thing.
Yeah.
If you play football and you like grass, go and play on grass. But it could be great on sand. I don't know. Some people. But I think analog for some stuff is better.
Yeah. Philippe, a pleasure. Thank you very much.
A pleasure always.
Thank you.
My brother.
Yeah.